Wow, this conversation is kind of all over the place, isn't it? First, we're talking about running a business, then we're talking about losing our minds, then we're talking about trying to be organized and get things done, and then we're talking about sleep, and then wives, and holidays, and family, and jobs. Yeah, this video is all over the place. I hope you guys are keeping up. I'm not. Happening Z Hood. Hello everybody, good day to you. Welcome back. Glad you guys are here. We're doing more administrative work today. I'm out and about on the town. That's Tropicana. That's where we make our orange juice here in Braden, Kentucky. Anyway, I digress. I'm headed out to Sarasota. Actually, let me back up one time. I'm gonna head to the shop real quick, and then I'm headed out to Sarasota. I've got to go fetch some BG fluid exchange machines. And I also need to switch lanes here. Let's go ahead and slow down. That lane runs out up there. We don't want to be in that lane. Anyway, I'm headed to Sarasota to go fetch some fluid exchange machines because I cannot do fluid exchanges without the proper machinery. Yes, I can drain fluids out and put fluids in, but that's not a very good exchange. That gets, what, 30-40% system capacity, and then we're still running on a bunch of contaminated fluids. So I'm going to get the machines that can achieve like the exchange capacity of like 90% or so, maybe even a little bit higher. Then after that, I gotta go pick up the mail from the mailbox, and then after that, I've gotta come back to Bradenton, go to the Dodge Chrysler Ram dealership and Jeep, and pick up some Jeep suspension parts for another Jeep, not Project Jeep, this is a different Jeep. Then, there was something else I had to do. What else did I have to do today? I forgot. I'll remember as soon as we hang up. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to go back to the shop with the machines and with the mail, unload the machines, and then I need to prep them because I need to do the transmission service on the blue blown up Cobalt to see if we can actually save that transmission or not. One thing I noticed in the video about that Cobalt is many of you were asking why I went ahead and installed that radiator and connected the transmission to the cooler with contaminated fluid in the transmission. And that's very easy. The radiator was where the failure was on that vehicle, so we had to fix the failure first. If I had tried to clean out the transmission and then run the vehicle, it would have just immediately contaminated the new fluid because the leak was in the cooler, which was integrated into the radiator. So what I had to do was replace what the failure was and then try to save the subsequent systems after that. That is why I replaced the radiator before doing anything else, because we had to fix the failure first, then move on after that. It would have made no sense to drop the trans pan and then put a filter in it and try to clean all that fluid out, then start the car and then recontaminate it all because it was still connected to the faulty radiator component. I hope that makes sense. It made sense to me, and that's why I did it that way. So yeah, that's the plan today. I'm spending all of my day not working in the shop. This is like day 1.5 because half the day yesterday I was working on the business and not in the business, and today I'm still working on the business. Maybe sometime later on, and I hope I have time, I'll be able to get that Cobalt back in the building and then get that thing fixed up, but we shall see. Point being, I wear many hats, and sometimes the scheduling of said hats kind of overlaps, you know, like a Venn diagram, you know, with the circles. I live in the middle of like 7 or 8 circles. It's kind of how that goes. Left turn. It's kind of stressful too, because it's like end of the year, we're doing holiday season stuff, a little bit of weekend traveling, so I've added an extra layer onto my layers of things that I have to accomplish. It is what it is. It's kind of what I signed up for. It's the kind of stuff that makes you want to hire employees to help you out. But that's hard to do these days because, you know, people like me, they went off and did their own stuff, and then the people that are there to collect a paycheck, they're not going to work on the business the way I would want them. I don't know. It's just it's a scary transitional period because I'm at a point where I need assistance, but you know, it's I fear going down that road. I've had employees before with landscaping operations, and that was a big negative. Okay, made a quick pit stop at the shop, no pun intended, and we're headed back out, riding out to Sarasota next. Come on, green light. Turn green, turn green, turn green. Don't have drive all day. Yeah, that's perfect. This is good fortune for me. Green arrows are good. I love green arrows. Hey, speaking of green arrows, I've learned that there are two kinds of green arrows in the United States. There's the green arrow that turns green before the straight ahead traffic goes, and then there's the green arrow that turns green after the straight ahead traffic goes. See, when the light switches in Florida, we get our green turn arrows first, and then after the turning people are done, then the straight ahead people can go. But I learned a couple weeks ago when A-Rod was down here from Michigan that they have the green turn arrows after the straight ahead traffic. So when a light switches, straight ahead traffic moves through, they stop, and then the left turn people get to go. Interesting how they can switch it between states, and it's kind of okay. But how about the rest of you guys? Where are your green arrows? Do you have a before turn or an after turn green arrow? Let us know in the comment section below. I'm aware that that's completely unrelated to the contents of this video, which is loosely organized at best, but I figured, why not? Let's poll the audience on the green arrows. That's a fun topic of conversation. Oh, by the way, while we're here, some of you guys may have noticed I ended up with another iDash. You see, what I figured out was I can control that pedal monster with this first iDash. I can control the exponential gain on how quickly it ramps up throttle response. Problem with that is when I run the control, I lose the feature to house 2 more gauges, and I didn't like that. So I ended up daisy chaining a second Banks iDash module into the circuit, so I can pull up additional gauges. Like, look at here, I got boost and coolant temp, manifold air temp, ambient air temp, and I think that one right there, that's cylinder fill ratio. That's a calculated measurement. It's available through the iDash, but I like looking at just how efficient the cylinders are being filled with the fuel air mixture. Actually, it's diesel, so just air. So with 2 of these, I get to have my Banks controller for the pedal monster. So we can turn that down a little bit. We were in sport mode, that's a little aggressive. We'll run City 8, I like it there. And again, I can have a couple gauges here. I've got TAC, digital speed, and engine load, which I like engine load. That's a nice one to have. So yeah, I ended up going down the Banks rabbit hole. Did you guys know you can actually stack 4 of these together? So you can do 1, 2, 3 in a pillar, and then you can put like a 4th one like here, or you can do 2 up here and 2 over here. But yeah, they allow you to incorporate these with Y splitters, where you can daisy chain a bunch of these together and pull up all types of data that even the scan tools sometimes don't even have the ability to read, because some of that is calculated measurements. Super cool. Again, another topic of conversation completely unrelated to the non-structured format of this particular video. But hey, I guess that's my life, unstructured and by the seat of your pants, so to speak. Maybe I watched too much Top Gun as a child. Living in the danger zone, that's what it is. It's the danger zone of life. Unstructured, unorganized, well-maintained, managed, kind of managed. I don't know, it's hard to manage like 7 different hats, but I got them. I think I am up to like 7 hats, yeah. The kids count as 1 hat because they're like a unit. Yeah, so they got kid hat, wife hat, YouTube hat, auto shop hat, and there's a couple other hats. But yeah, I got a lot of hats on. Lots of stuff. Never stops. I used to be lazy too. I used to think I was lazy. I don't know. Some people have said lazy. I say misunderstood due to lack of stimulation. Like, that was my problem in high school, is I wasn't stimulated by the structured format of the program because it was somebody else's program, and I think later in life I've taken that program into my own control, and now it's not lazy, now it's immediate, do this. And I think and I feel and I try to do so many things at once that it's got me kind of ping-pong balled, ping, ping, ping around topics. You know, I get a phone call and I've immediately got to switch thoughts, and, you know, I know who called, but I was like, oh, what was our last conversation? I've got to remind myself in the heat of the moment. Like, it behooves one to stay sharp in the cranium. which is hard to do when your brain is being pulled in multiple different directions simultaneously at any given point in time. And then you gotta schedule in sleep, and that's not fair. I wish I could go on like 2 hours of sleep or 0 hours of sleep every day. I could get so much done if I didn't have to go to sleep. Thanks guys for riding with me today while I talk to my phone and drive this truck around town. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm kind of lonely. My wife and the kids are gearing up for this weekend. We're gonna go on a little mini vacation, get out of the house. It's the holiday season, so we need to make time for everybody and spend some quality time with the family. Again, that's another hat that I've got to remind myself not to neglect. It's easy to forget the things that we take for granted, you know, like just time with the kids and time with family members. Sometimes we all get wrapped up in the rat race of things, and I've got a saying, and it goes something like, you only have time unless you take time. And I developed that as a means to accommodate my daily tasks. You know, some people say, oh, I didn't have time to do this email, or I didn't have time to get to that, but you have to take the time to get to that, which means you've got to plan out other events and other things so you're not double booking yourself. And I've got a nasty habit of double booking. I've been working on that one for the past couple weeks. Do not double book my efforts, and I just need to slow down, and that's really helping me with the organization, because this kind of is it's a one-man show, and of course the wife unit Lauren, she helps me out immensely. Like, I could not do half of what I'm doing right now if she wasn't there on the other side to help me out with some of the finer details, like emails, for example, and scheduling and parts and contacts with folks. I mean, you know, she really does it all. She's totally my manager, 100%, and I could not function without her. Which brings me around to the topic of the nickname of wife unit. I do get some scathing emails and comments talking about how that's disrespectful to her, and that she deserves better than such a demeaning nickname. Joke's on you guys. She actually came up with that long ago, and I started saying it. So it's not me demeaning her. I use that term in the highest regards, because she's totally a bad unit, and she is the wife, so she is the wife unit. Plus, I think it's funny, and she's kind of turned into her own character. So the wife unit's going to stay until my wife unit says otherwise. But it's not demeaning or degrading, and it certainly does not reduce. How do I want to put it? It does not subtract away from the quality of her character, efforts, and importance. So I'd just like to get that out there right now, because none of us are capable of half of what we do if we don't have our fantastic wife units in our corner. And, well, sometimes they're in our corner, sometimes they're pushing us, sometimes they're pulling us along for the ride. So, that being said, to all the wife units out there, you guys are the best, and we are nothing without you. And I think I speak for everybody that has a wife unit in their corner. We need you guys more than you know, and probably more than we let you know. But at the end of the day, we're hopeless creatures without our wife units to keep us focused and operating as designed. Now, whose design that is, that's debatable, because sometimes we're operating on what you guys designed for us. Sometimes we're just operating on basic instinct. But either way, again, we do need the lovely ladies to keep us in line. Otherwise, we're just going to be drunk in the bar all day, you know, sleeping in our jeans and not combing our hair for a week, and forgetting to take showers. Plus, we'll have dirty laundry and dirty dishes piled up to the moon, and that's just not good. Because without you guys to keep us in check, we revert back to caveman status almost instantaneously. Yeah, for example, I'm going to have the house to myself tonight, and guaranteed I'm going to trash the place. I mean, I'm not going to do it on purpose, but, you know, according to according to the wife standards of how things are supposed to be kept, there's no way I have even the ability to do such things. I mean, we try, we mean well, but it doesn't always work out when you guys walk back in the door and see what happened to the house after we were gone, or after you were gone for a day and a half. I mean, like I said, we try. And so this is a preemptive apology to all wife units who have chosen to leave their husbands alone for 24 hours or more at a time. It's not our fault. It just illustrates how much we really need you in our lives. Yeah, this video is all over the place. I hope you guys are keeping up. I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. Reverse the red light. Let's watch this. Let me show you what this thing does. It does not give horsepower, but it instantly, look at that. The red is how much throttle the pedal monster is actually giving the ECU, and the white is how much throttle I'm actually depressing. So it exponentially curves that throttle. Really cool stuff. We're not on a racetrack, so let's go ahead and turn that down. Uh-oh. Won't let me do it. I'm on the throttle. Hang on. 0. There we go. Now we're looking good. That's better. Toys. We love our toys. Yeah, there's our little goofy circle thing. Turning right, as per the directions. Yeah, see the sign? Swoop around, please. It's gonna be a while. We gotta swoop around behind that guy. All right, we're not swooping.
Continue for half a mile.
Come on, people, let's swoop. Nope. Good, we're swooping again. Come on. Let's see. My little map tells me I'm almost here. I think this is my turn.
Your destination.
Yep, there it is. Right. Sign says BG on the building. That's my spot. Let's go ahead and pull on in here and go meet the guy. Pretty tight squeeze. I parked with a tree behind me, and I had to like do the Austin Powers golf cart back and forth thing a little bit in that parking space back there. Oopsie. Didn't plan that parking job out, did I? Loading. Yeah, keep it going. Deja vu.
Alright, you can drop it.
Perfect. Here, we'll slide that on forward. You slimy. Huh. Uh-oh. Machine gravity. Okay, one right there, over, in front, there. This should be good. Ratchet strap clicks. That's good. That one's good. We're good back here. We're good right there. We're good everywhere, I think. Yep. All right, tailgate going back on. Deja vu, we just did this with an AC machine. How about that? Repetitive content. Unsubscribe. You guys are doing the same thing. Oh, I didn't even tell you. So what we've got, that's the BG PF5 transmission exchange machine. It's got a tank inside with a bladder. You fill that tank with your clean fluid, connect the hoses to the vehicle, you start it and run it, and the pump and the trans will displace the fluid onto the other side of the bladder. So as that bladder fills with used fluid, it's displacing the new fluid into the other line back into the transmission. So as the transmission is pumping, it's taking old fluid out and bringing new fluid back in. Now this bad boy right here, this is the brake fluid service. It's basically a pressure vessel. You fill it full of brake fluid, connect the hose to the master cylinder, crack the bleeder valve open, or crack the valve open, then you turn on the vacuum pump, connect that to the calipers around the vehicle, and then open the bleeder valves, and it will pressurize and pump in new fluid. Simultaneously, it's going to vacuum out the old fluid, so you get a very, very clean 100%, 99% fluid exchange. It's the best of the best of the best, sir. Anyway, that's enough jaw jacking. Let's get out of here. We got more stuff to do. I need to go pick up the mail. Starting the engine. Click it or ticket. Come here. Yeah, because what's a video without a click? This is why we have authorized personnel only in certain areas. You see that right there? We don't want to drive off of that, do we? That would suck. You'll often find that in industrial areas there's hazards unforeseen and unknown to the general population, and that right there, 100% is definitely one of those types of hazards. You know, those machines behind me there, that's in my estimation, a prime example of my motto of quality doesn't cost, it pays. Quick story time. Once upon a time, I worked this job, and we had very old and antiquated fluid flush machines. They were like old WINS machines from the early 2000s, okay? The stuff really, really needed an upgrade. And so I bugged the bosses. I said, hey, get us some BG machines. They're the best of the best. They're highly efficient. There's a front load cost to the actual machine themselves because they're not cheap pieces of equipment, but you get what you pay for. And I explained that the cost on those, the ROI, would be positive very quickly because of the amount of time it takes to actually perform the service. For example, the machine behind me, when in the hands of a trained operator, you can do a fluid exchange in about 30 minutes to 1 hour, and that includes setting the machine up, draining out the old fluid if it hasn't been drained yet from the machine, not from the vehicle, connecting the lines, prepping everything, you know, getting out all of your cleaners and detergents, and performing the exchange operation. It can all be done in less than an hour by a person who's familiar with the machines. And I even sweetened the deal for the bosses. I said, if you buy these particular machines, these exact ones, if within 30 days they do not show a profit, meaning they've been paid for and are profiting within 30 days, I said I will purchase those machines from the store, thus creating a situation for the store of zero risk. So if they buy these machines and then they don't show up as a decent profit, I was just going to buy them. By my estimation, that's a no-risk proposal. And what we got was bargain barrel. Like, I was able to convince them to replace some of the machines that we had, but what we got was off-the-shelf, bargain bin, low quality type of machines that were mass produced in a foreign land, we can say that. And they didn't even work straight out of the box. The coolant machine, it was mixing old coolant, new fluid, or new coolant, because it had like a stuck valve inside of it. And the transmission machine did not fill the transmissions, and it wasn't the type that I just described, the positive displacement type machine. It had a separate tank. It had a waste tank and it had a fill tank with a little electric pump inside of it. And the issue with that one is the pump would never come on to refill the transmissions due to like some kind of a flow error or something like that. And so the company was left with these brand new machines that barely functioned. Therefore, nobody used them. On top of that, the setup for that machine took about 30 to 35 minutes to complete just to prepare it to perform the service. And then it wouldn't function. Sometimes it would, but sometimes it wouldn't. Most of the time it wouldn't. And we called the parts store out that sold it to us. The reps came out. They were looking at the training video that we had already watched, and they went through the setup instructions that we had already completed, and the machine they couldn't get it to function. Now, rather than going and taking that machine back and having it serviced, brand new machine, mind you, it just kind of stayed there, and everyone forgot about it. And so ultimately the store ended up purchasing some lower tiered and lower priced pieces of machinery that never ever functioned. And so, and I believe to this day those machines are still just sitting in the back room of that shop, not being used, brand new equipment. But again, classic example of quality doesn't cost, it pays. You know, we bought something that was a lower quality and that came with a lower price, and it didn't work. So we paid a bunch of money to not accomplish the task. Where, by my point of view, if we had invested in a quality piece of machinery like the stuff that's behind me, then it would have worked, and it would have worked efficiently. So one other little detail about that story, after that 30 days were up, the bosses were like, hey, you know, well, we're not doing any fluid services here. You can go ahead. Phone's ringing. I don't know you, so I'm not gonna answer it. Actually, yeah, I am. Hang on, be right back. Yeah, I'm glad I answered that, because that was the parts store delivering some suspension parts for a Mercedes, and I needed to know that that stuff was there. I'm not at the shop, so I had him deliver it outside of my doors. Merging safely merging, turn signal. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So after the 30 days, the month or so was up after everyone gave up on the machines, and somebody from Bossland was like, "Hey, you offered to buy those machines if they didn't turn a profit." And I said, "No. I offered to buy the BG machines if we didn't turn a profit." And I said, "You guys bought some crap knockoff, you know, menu item junk machines for, you know, an eighth of the price of the BG machines, and then expected the same results." And I was like, "That was a decision that you made. You know, I made an offer, and you immediately violated the terms of that verbal agreement. So therefore, I'm not interested in purchasing those machines." Oh, and by the way, if anybody who is familiar with that situation in real life land that happens to see that little monologue, it's not a dig on you guys. It's story time. That's as simple as that. I'm not bashing anybody or your decisions. I'm just telling story time right now from my point of view, how I digest it, and I'm allowed to do that. So, you know, no offense given. I hope none was taken. But you know, sometimes words matter, and specific words matter, because adding the adjective BG to the description of said machines is what made all the difference. You know, words definitely matter, even if I do fumble them constantly. Words. Alrighty, we're back at the shop. We're backing in. We got the machines. Let's open up the doors, get these things unloaded, and then I can get around to finishing up that Cobalt and see if I can save that transmission. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But we're gonna try with that guy right there. Oh, you know what? By the way, while we're here, I received a gift at my mailbox. It is a bench grinder. My guy has been waiting on me to pick that thing up, and I finally made it out to Sarasota to go fetch it. So I would like to take this opportunity right now to say thank you for said bench grinder, and thanks to all the other folks who have bestowed upon me gifts to the channel and to the shop to help support our efforts here. Appreciate that, guys. Shop powering on. Cool beans, we've got the brake fluid exchange machine unloaded. It's gonna go over here into the equipment corner. Check that out. Torches. Yeah, we'll park you right there for brake fluid services. And the trans machine's already been unloaded. We did that a moment ago. This right here is the crown jewels of the situation. The BG PF5, 16 quart high output fluid exchange device. Nice. Beautiful machine. Activate pump. I like this thing. One cool feature that it has is once you've got this thing hooked up and the vehicle is running, it'll show you the quality of the old fluid passing through it, and then you perform the service, and once it's completed, it'll show you the quality of the new fluid passing through it. So you get a visual indicator on just how impactful of a job that the service resulted in. Oop. And you get to see that you do get a very, very high exchange percentage when using this type of displacement machine. It is infinitely more effective than the drain and fill method. Now, that doesn't mean every time I service the transmission I'm going to use this, because not all operations are going to call for or require a full system exchange. For example, if I'm just doing a filter, I don't need to do a filter and a fluid exchange. But if we're not doing filters and we just want to service the fluid, this is the way to go. All right, guys, it is like 2:30, 2:22 in the afternoon. We're all done here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get my butt to work on some actual cars instead of running around town running errands. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out right now. We're gonna get started on this Mercedes, and after that thing's out of the way, I'm gonna bring that Cobalt in here, and we're gonna try to save this transmission. But that's gonna be content for two other videos, one on the Cobalt, one on the Mercedes. So I'm gonna get to it. I'd like to get all this stuff done before the holiday, and that way I can rest easy that my shop is cleared, and I'll be better prepared to start the new year. So that being said, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, you know the drill. Let me know about that by tapping that like button down below. If you did not enjoy this video, let me know about that in the comment section down below also, and I can use your constructive feedback to better improve my quality of production. So again, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and most importantly, don't forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. End of shop update transmission.